So how did River City Ironwork come about?
Oh, so we were talking about Chris earlier. Yeah. Chris is like Chris was the guy that like really took me under his wing and man, just showed me so much, man. The dude he's such a good dude. I mean, I could spend 90 minutes talking, about, given the length of this podcast, I could spend the next 2 hours talking about how much Chris has showed me and taught me and probably inconvenienced himself in situations so that I could learn something. You know what I mean? He's just a guy that I'm just like, I've known him for 10 plus years now and I'm just still like, dude, how do you do that? How do you do that? He just like, he's a guy that knows everything and he wants to do he very much so. And I think I kind of picked this up from Chris. He's a leader that like very much wants to be in the trench with the guys, have his hands on stuff, wants to like be there with his people. Mm-hmm. And there have been numerous times through my career where I'll be like, dude, I'm just not understanding this. This isn't going the way I thought it would go. And Chris is like, okay, let me come show you. Like, let's do it together. Like, this has happened a million times, dude. And it's just like the caliber of leader that he's been to me specifically. He's like another guy where I think people either really like him or really hate him. There's a lot of people in our line of work that like think Chris is like a super asshole or whatever. And that's fine. Think that. I don't care. Chris doesn't care either. He'll tell you he doesn't care. He'll be like, yeah, like, I think he's an asshole. I don't give a shit. Like, here I am still working. I'm still, we talk about pension credits in our line of work and Chris is like, I'm getting pension credits every year. Like, right. How much money did you make last year kind of thing. Yeah. Those guys that talk shit are typically not in your league. You know what I mean?
Right.
Actually I just read, Adam Arberger's book.
Oh yeah.
You're the fucking problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shout out Tag Team and Adam Arberger, man. Adam is
those guys.
Adam is a.
That was a fun interview when we had him on.
Adam is a different level of human being. I don't know Adam very well personally. Like our paths have crossed. We have met. We've shook hands a few times. But Adam is a different level of human, man.
All the shit that he does. Holy cow.
Oh my gosh, I know. Anyway, so I read his book. I literally finished his book last night, and one of the chapters in his book that I connected with the most was one on hate. Like, people are going to hate on you, dude. People will hate on you. And he told the best line is that hate always goes upward. People that hate on you, they hate on you because they're not on your level.
Yes.
Nobody in your league is going to hate on you.
No, people don't hate down.
Yeah. No. Player haters are always looking up, dude. Yeah. Yes. And that, like, reading that was validating as fuck. Dude, Adam, man,
he's so wise.
I would love to sit down with Adam and just pick his brain a little bit.
That was one of my favorite podcasts we've done.
Yeah, that was a good episode. Adam is a different level of human being. Anyway, so Chris and I worked for a company called St. Louis Bridge, who serviced the client that we service right now, which for like work competitive reasons I'm not going to disclose here. Not a big deal, but like you got to kind of protect what you have. You know what I mean? And we did service work for them for like a couple of years under working for St. Louis Bridge. So much so that so we talked about unions before and how like it's a different level of talent and skill and training. For 30 years, this client had a non-union contractor coming in and doing their steel repairs and doing maintenance work on their steel structures for like 30 years, literally since like 1992 or 93. We come in 2019. We worked there from like March to October. From March to October, we have a log of all the repair work that we did. What we did from March to October, the previous contractor, it took them 4 years to do what we did in roughly 9 months.
Wow.
So the leadership at their office was like,
that's going to save us a ton of fucking
money. How come we haven't been hiring these guys for the last 30 years?
Yeah.
Why have we only gotten this much out of the previous contractor? So that kind of got the wheel turning. So we did this service contract with them for another year. And then they start hiring more union people. They're unionized. It's the railroad, so they're unionized. And they're like, now they have union fence contractors coming in. They've got, all these other union trades are coming in to like do their service work. And like, that's what it is. It's like, it kind of just ripples a little bit. I'm a firm believer, and I really learned this from Chris. Let your work speak for itself. You shouldn't have to say a fucking thing about what you do.
No,
let your work speak.
Is it more expensive to hire union? Is that why they went non-union, or?
The short answer to that, Pat, is yeah. Like,
and that just answers yourself because it's the quality of work.
Exactly.
But when you start taking it out over a longer period of time, you're actually saving money.
The research and the math would tell you that hiring a union contractor will actually save you money long term, because the productivity you know, like think about just the safety
quality.
training alone. Like,
Right.
so yeah, we have to pay for safety training. Like my guys have to have certain qualifications to do the work that we do. It costs money. It's, you know, it's like not cheap, but like how much more expensive is it if somebody dies on your job site?
Right.
Okay. Now you're talking about a wrongful death lawsuit. Now you're talking about lost time because OSHA has to come here and shut your job site down to do an investigation. These things compound very quickly. It gets expensive fast, man. I will die on the Union Hill, no doubt, particularly in the trades. So we do the service work for this client for a couple of years, and then St. Louis Bridge, like the board, are all going to retire. I don't really know. Well, I do know, but I'm not going to disclose a lot of it here. What occurred between that time and River City Ironwork being born. But there was like weird things going on between the chatter out and about, you know. So Chris randomly, you know, we stay in contact all the time. You know, where it was like, hey, who are you working for?
Yeah.
You know, because things get slow. You know, you go work somewhere else. You know what I mean? Which kind of happens a fair amount, like we talked about earlier. Chris is like, you know, hey, I put a bid in on this work, and I got awarded it already. Like I've got an LLC. I had some things in the works. It didn't work out. Now I don't know what to do, and I've been awarded this contract already.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, I will never forget the conversation. I was like, so like, what do you mean you have this contract? Right? He's like, yeah, I have been awarded the contract for this work. I have an LLC that I started. I've been keeping this all under wraps. Again, because you have to like protect your work a little bit. I was like, dude, do you have like equipment or payroll set up or anything? His exact words were, I don't have a fucking thing yet. He's like, okay, when do they want you to like start? He's like, in a month. I'm like, okay, why are you what are you talking to me about this for? Like, I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? He's like, well, I don't know what to do either. What do you think, man? I'm like, so I kind of like,
so this is like, you're the guy who's kind of showed you everything. You kind of,
coming
you
to
in
you now.
the vulnerable
to be
point where he's
honest,
like, bro, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing now, you know?
And to be honest with you, I really don't. I don't know if Chris is, and I've never asked him this, and I will tomorrow when I see that dude. I don't know if his point of the conversation was to be like, hey, I want to bring you in on this, or like maybe he just wanted some validation, you know what I mean? Of like, I don't know what to do. And then you want me to be like, I also don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, like the work that we do is fucking great, dude. It's bridge repair and maintenance. Like I love it. It's my favorite stuff to do. I'm like, well, the motivating factor here for me to do something rather than nothing here is like, I want to keep doing this work for this client. You know what I mean? So like, I kind of like stewed on it for a little while. Like by a little while, I mean like literally like 2 hours because they want us there. They want us there in a month.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey man, I've got like this, like a friend of mine who's pretty business savvy. You know, he works in the business world for, you know, again, giving you the short answer. Let me like see what he thinks, you know, like what he says to do here. I had no idea it was going to turn into a sit down 3-person business meeting. I did not know that was what was going to occur. So I call Max and I'm like, hey man, like I just have this, like this opportunity that I don't really know what to do with. What do you think? You know, and I don't really give him like a sales pitch meeting, but I'm like, this is what we do. This is like how we do it. This is what it requires. Yeah, I really don't know what to do with this information, but like, this is it. Like, if you can like steer this in some direction, do that. And he's like, all right, let me like digest this a little bit and I'll reach out to you tomorrow. We'll talk tomorrow. Okay, cool. And then this becomes the sales pitch meeting.
Okay.
Where he's like, hey, these numbers look good. You know, these numbers look good. So like, what do you want to do with this? I'm like, well, a friend of mine like has this opportunity, like this is locked in and like, we need to get this thing moving forward, I guess. And he's like, all right, I'll do it. But like, you have to be a part of it. Like, okay, like I can do that. Like I know about this line of work and like this business, like I've been in leadership roles, but like, maybe the three of us should talk together, you know? And he's like, yeah. So like I put him in contact with Chris. Everybody starts kind of chatting. And Chris is like, yeah, they want us there by, you know, the end of the month, which is like at this point, a little bit over 3 weeks away. He's like, Max is like, all right, well, like, you know, we need to get some things together. He's like, I'm in this, but like, it'll be, it'll be some shared ownership type situation. Like Brian needs to be involved. I don't really know you. So like, we need to like remedy that a little bit. Had like this big Saturday morning 2-hour phone call. And Max is like, all right, I'm in. Like, what's it going to take? And we like really start getting the ball rolling, like figuring out like how we're going to get all this stuff together. Like I need a shitload of equipment, dude. Like you can't just go to Home Depot and buy the stuff that we need. You know what I mean? Like I need specialized trucks. I need air compressors, all this stuff. And Max is like, yeah, we'll figure it out, man. Like, let's see what like the insurance stuff is going to take. Let's like through process of elimination, basically like see if we can still pull this off. And like we kind of start getting down to the wire. Like we're getting insurance in place. Like I'm getting a lot of the safety protocol stuff, safety program in place, like a lot of railroad compliance stuff, which working for the railroad is like a whole nother level of, construction. There's a lot of things that you have to have in place to be able to work for a rail, be a contractor to a railroad. And it starts getting like really close to the wire, and like things for me aren't really coming together. Like I'm just like, I think we're cutting too close, man. Like we still, we're like 2 weeks away, and we're still like in the figure it out phase of like insurance and payroll and all this other shit. And I remember texting Max, and this is like a moment, like a historical moment for me. I remember texting Max and being like, hey man, if you don't think we can pull this off, it's like, it's not going to hurt my feelings. Okay. Like I get it. Like this is a humongous task that we have to do in like this time frame. It's like, I think it's going to take like a large financial commitment. And like, that's a pretty tall order to ask somebody, you know what I mean? I will fucking never forget what Max told me. He's like, hey man, don't worry about the financial aspect of this. We're just going to figure this shit out. Like, damn. 2 weeks later, we were around with 4 employees, all the equipment we needed.
Damn. So you guys
made it work.
Made it work, man. And I like that like 3.5 weeks is like the quintessential example of like the make or break moments that you have in your life. Where like, when you hear all these like, you hear like athletes talk about it, you hear about like super successful business people, like they talk about like these moments where like this is where like it either goes north or south. We had a lot of those moments in 3.5 weeks. And man, we all 3 of us, man, like really worked our asses off to get this thing in place. We ended up buying a lot of equipment from a previous employer, St. Louis Bridge.
Okay.
And it's only grown, dude. It's only gotten better. Man. We've outshined every year.
How many employees are you up to now?
So Chris and I are still in the field every day. And then I've got 4 other guys on payroll.
Okay.
I don't want it to all just be like, oh, this is Brian and his business. Like my partners, dude, play a gigantic role in this, man. I cannot, like I said, there's not enough time here in this podcast to talk about all the partners have done for me.
That's awesome.
Wow. Dude, it's amazing. It's
you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
I
think you're just at the last second
away.
there. Yeah. Yeah.
Move up a little bit.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. That's like, give me goosebumps. Like, fucking awesome. Dude. Just making it happen, figuring out a way. And
dude, it's been a
Those are awesome.
Man.
These are awesome stories. Like, just an awesome story.
Yeah. It happened very ironically too, because
and this was 2021.
2021.
Right?
Yeah. So like literally like maybe 2 months before that, I was talking to my wife, who at the time was my girlfriend. I was like, I want to take like a big step, like maybe I should go back to college and like get an engineering degree and like apply my stuff I know about construction. Like that'll have some like backwards compatibility type stuff. And I was really trying to like navigate, I wanted to do more. I wanted more. I was like, like I said, she was my girlfriend at the time. I was like feeling really motivated to be like, people inspire you, man. I was like, when I started dating my wife, I was very inspired. Like she inspired me so much, man. My wife's a physical therapist. She has her doctorate. She's the smartest person I've ever met. She's about 1,000 times cooler than me for sure. I was like really inspired by her, and like hearing, like getting introduced to things from her that I had like never really experienced. Just like meeting people that were, very educated, or, just kind of like seeing life differently. I was like really motivated by her. And I was like having this conversation about how I wanted to do more. Like maybe I should go back to school. Maybe I should try to take on like a different level of leadership at work, stuff like that. And she was like, well, why don't you ask Chris? Because like he's a person that you've worked under for a really long time. And, 2 months later,
You guys are
Chris
opening up a
we're
business.
opening up a business together. And yeah, I remember my wife too saying something to the effect of like, well, here's your big step. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you
Um,
kind of fell in your lap.
yeah, man. I mean, opportunity is time and place for sure, and a lot of hard work. You know, I think that if I was just some regular guy, I think Chris probably wouldn't have reached out.
Clearly had a connection.
Had
He
a connection,
respected you
man.
for your work ethic, and
And you know, Chris is just a person that can just, man, he just do it all, man. He's like a superhuman iron worker.
Yeah. damn, dude,
That's awesome, man.
it's crazy. Man.
2021 was a wild year, dude. We started a business. We remodeled a house, sold a house, bought a house, planned a wedding, got married, went on a honeymoon. 2021 was a wild
Damn.
fucking year, dude.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I was living in Swansea, and
Yeah,
like,
this is all like middle of COVID, or kind
Dude,
of like
it was
tail end of
insane.
COVID.
Oh my God, it was
middle
crazy.
of COVID, kind of. Yeah.
My wife and my wife really helped me. We remodeled. I had bought my first house in 2014, and remodeled it to flip it with the intention of like, I want to move to St. Louis. I fell in love with the city, dude. When I was dating my wife, she lived in the Central West End at the time. Excuse me. I'm glad we got that on air. My wife lived in the Central West End at the time, and my introduction to St. Louis started in the Central West End.
That's a sweet area.
It's a
Dude,
cool-
I still to this day
I love-
love the Central West
Dude,
End.
it's so cool. I got a listing over there right now.
Yeah.
Forest Park over there, just everything. It's just awesome.
So living in Illinois, you know, what you know about the city is like Busch Stadium, the brewery, you know, the zoo. Like that's the shit that you know.
Right.
When
Downtown.
Yeah.
I don't think people realize like there's like 3 parts to St. Louis City, like the downtown areas. You got downtown, then you've got like where SLU is in that area, and then you have the Central West End, and then you got South City, all that stuff. But
Dude, the Central West End is like the cherry on top of St. Louis for me. It's to this day. Me and my wife had our first date in the Central West End. She had a pretty sweet apartment in Central West End. I got to spend a lot of time down there. Just like walking to places, man, and
Yeah.
you know, just like the vibe in Central West End is awesome.
It's very walkable. There's like all these like cool shops and restaurants and like coffee shops, and it's just like also like a lot of like walkable parts of the city.
Bro, Mission Taco
Yeah.
was down there. It's not there anymore.
Yeah, not anymore.
Well, what is it now? It's not Mission
Session.
Taco. Session Taco. Yeah,
Session.
you can't say
Yes.
Mission Taco anymore.
Because
Right, I forgot about that.
Bogus.
Because of
the
the
tortillas.
tortillas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll always be Mission Taco in my
for
heart.
sure.
you know what I mean?
It's Mission Taco.
Just like Riverport.
Yeah.
It's always going to be
Yeah.
Riverport.
Right.
Was it now River City Casino?
Hollywood
or
Casino.
Hollywood
Casino.
Casino.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called the amphitheater.
So yeah, I fell in love with the city, man. I was like, dude, I got to live here. There's no way I cannot live here. And my wife being from here was also like, I don't have much interest in living in Illinois,
Yeah.
which I'm like, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
No offense. So yeah, we remodeled my house in Swansea, listed it, sold it. We got to experience the COVID housing market.
There you go.
We looked at 74 houses.
Holy
wow.
We
shit,
made
bro.
9 offers, and we ended up in Richmond Heights, which I love.
Yeah. Oh, it's great.
Get the best
Great
of both
location.
worlds.
Dude, I love it. It's-
74 showings.
Yeah,
Holy
74.
fuck.
My poor real estate.
Yeah, I was
agent,
gonna
dude.
say, your poor agent.
Man. It was a family friend. It was a friend of my aunt
Yeah, that's a lot.
who was very patient with us.
That's more than I've ever shown anybody.
Dude,
So, yeah.
well, reference this next time you have like a client
I
that's
will.
like, I want to look at 40 houses. Be like, well, I knew a dude that looked at 74.
Yeah. I
Um,
think the most I have is 53, and that was
oh man,
that was a doozy.
that commission check feels different. You know what I mean? Like
She ended up
53.
renting an apartment.
Oh
so,
no.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
I still check in with her.
So yeah, yeah, well, I don't want to put it personal. Hopefully it's a sick ass apartment.
Yeah, I hope.
Sorry, the real reason I came was to drink Pat's whiskey. So
Yeah.
that's the real reason why I took on the podcast. So yeah, we remodeled the house, sold it, looked at 74 houses, ended up in Richmond Heights, planned a wedding. 2020, dude, and all this happened. And like the theme for 2021 was like, if we can do all this shit, we can do anything together.
Yeah,
It's true.
for
You know what I
sure,
mean?
dude. You did a lot of shit.
Dude, 2021 was a wild year, and you know, we started this company with Max and Chris, and man, I've never looked back. It's like one of the most fulfilling things for me is that we get to do our work on our terms, our way. Like, who do you answer to? Well, Chris and I and Max make a lot of decisions together. Chris ultimately, I think, carries a lot of weight when it comes to like decisions of things in the field. I run the crew of guys like a little directly. Again, like I like to really be hands on. I like to be there, man. it's to the point in my career where like I know what needs to be done. If I have questions, I'll go to Chris and be like, hey, this is what I'm planning on doing. This is how I think we need to approach this. And he'll be like, yes, no, or change this a little bit or do this a little bit. There's a couple of things we do, mainly because it's like super dangerous, where I'm like, hey, Chris, you should be very involved with this. And he does, man. He's sharp, man. He's just sharp. He just, he's done the justification. And then I think it's a great one when like a way we want to do something kind of gets shot down is Chris is like, I've done it this way. I've done it every way you could do this. And the way I'm telling you to do it is the best way. So when I think about decisions that have to be made in the field when it comes to like our actual work, that's always playing back in my head. It's like, well, the way Chris showed me to do it was this way. And the way that he told me to do it this way is because he's done it 10 other ways, and this way was the best way. So I don't want to waste a lot of time doing this like trial and error thing. And I've had to have conversations with guys that like work for us. Like, well, why don't we do it this way? We should try to do it this like, well, the best way to do it is the way I'm telling you to do it. And like, then it's like, I had this like light bulb moment where like, oh, Chris told me this, use the same fucking line on me.
Yeah.
5 years ago. And like, now here I am doing it, man. So yeah, hats off to him, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I guess around just after 2021, is that when you got back into jiu-jitsu?
2022, I came back to jiu-jitsu. Yeah. I did a stint in jiu-jitsu from 2012. Did a stint. Yeah, man. I had a little stay. I did some jiu-jitsu from 2012 to 2014. Loved it. Was very involved. Took a 9-year break.
Where was that at?
It was in O'Fallon, Illinois. It was on the Illinois side.
Okay.
What was the reason for the stop?
This academy closed that I was in.
What for?
The guy that owned it went to prison.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Which is a good reason to close your jiu-jitsu academy,
absolutely.
by the way.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. That guy went to prison. I don't know if the internet knows this or if you guys know this, but you cannot have a sexual relationship with a 15-year-old student as a 30-something-year-old male.
That's frowned upon.
Yeah, it's definitely frowned upon,
Okay.
and you'll go to prison for that. So, and ironically, they'll close your jiu-jitsu academy.
Ironically.
Yeah, man. I did jiu-jitsu at a place in O'Fallon. Again, for legality reasons, I'm not going to name drop a lot of shit.
Yeah.
There's a lot of info on the internet. I'll tell you guys all about it later
Yeah.
off the air. Yeah, I trained there for like 2 years. And again, it was a time, I was, like I said, man, I had a hard time making ends meet back then. So I, in a roundabout way, like kind of got sponsored by the gym as a friend of a friend kind of thing. My best friend, who trains at Watson's now too, was teaching kids classes there and was like, hey, I can physically see that you're not in a great place. And I think doing jiu-jitsu will benefit you. You should come. And I was literally like, I would love that, but I cannot afford gym fees. He was like, don't worry about gym fees. Just like come feel it out. Like, see if you like jiu-jitsu. Did it for a couple weeks. Fell in love with it instantly. I did 2 jiu-jitsu classes, and then I did an in-house tournament and actually won some matches in an in-house tournament that the gym held. And then basically like worked it out to where I would help teach some classes, kind of like what you do with the beginner class. Yeah. And like what like Remington and some of the guys do in our gym, like walk around, help out. I did that kind of thing. He's like, don't worry about your gym fees. Help out at the gym, clean the mats. When we do like in-house tournaments, you'll pack the mats up, you'll set them up, stuff like that. So I traded labor for a gym membership.
For a gym membership,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And I love jiu-jitsu, man.
Dude, it's life-changing.
And then after like the big, the big fallout, I was just like honestly depressed and fucking sad and just like put a lot of energy into different stuff. I started really diving into my career more. I got a lot of opportunities through work. Started working with Chris shortly after the gym closed. My daughter at the time started kindergarten, so it was just like spread pretty thin. And then, came to Watson's in 2022.
Yeah, dude.
And again, never looked back.
Yeah, what a great culture.
I'm going nowhere, dude.
To join. I've trained I trained elsewhere before coming to Watson's, and just like the culture Kyle's created and everything. It's just, it's unmatched.
It
man.
is next level.
Just everything that just the way that things are taught there. Even like stuff that we're going over right now, all this leg lock stuff. And it's just like stuff that I feel like it might be being taught elsewhere, but nowhere around here, at least in my opinion. Not that I know of.
I think that Kyle Watson has a gift of teaching. You know what I mean? I think, and it's apparent, like you go to seminars somewhere, maybe you go to like, you do like a drop-in class, maybe you go out of town and do a drop-in class somewhere. When I go to someone else's class, and I'm like, wow, it is very apparent that Kyle Watson has a gift for teaching this. You know what I mean? I mean, aside from being fucking great at jiu-jitsu.
Yes.
I mean, the dude's a third-degree black belt? Like,
Yeah.
it's not because his jiu-jitsu sucks. You know what I mean? Like,
no,
he knows a thing or two about jiu-jitsu. But man, the way he has, the way that he can deliver things and make you understand them is like, it's nothing I've experienced.
Yeah, he's got a degree in teaching, I believe.
Yeah,
I
no, that's
believe.
correct.
So,
Mhm.
I mean, it just totally correlates to what he's doing. And yeah, and just he breaks everything down into a system, and like he just like has such a good, and he's been doing it for so long that he's there's not a much like Chris. He's probably done it 10 different ways, and this is the way that I've found is the best.
Yeah.
And, and he's going to show you that way, but he'll also show you, the top other 2 or 3 that, maybe don't work as well, but hey, maybe this one works better for you because everybody's a little different. And just the culture that he's created at the gym is, I mean, it's unmatched. I mean, the kind of people that are there, and I'm so thankful for it every time I walk through those doors.
Bro, same. And
I'm
I
ready to
tell
get back
Kyle
into
that.
it.
I tell Kyle, like, I got my, not to brag, but I got my 3rd stripe last week. And I think every time I've had those moments with Kyle, like when you get a stripe or you get a belt promotion, that's a special moment with your coach. You know what I mean? And it lasts 15 seconds tops, dude.
Yes.
That's a special moment, dude. And I think every time that I've been called up for something like that, I have told Kyle every time, dude, I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much, dude. And then he typically reciprocates with, no, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, the culture at Watson's is great. Everybody knows the Kyle story. Yeah, he was on the Ultimate Fighter. He fought in the UFC. Those are big parts of his life, I think. But I think the thing that brings Kyle the most joy is teaching students jiu-jitsu in his gym.
I agree.
Yeah, we had a really good episode with him that we could never air because audio reasons.
Yeah, the audio just like cut out
What?
like halfway
yeah.
through. Oh,
Yeah, it was-
heartbroken.
Yeah.
Hopefully that doesn't happen here.
Well, we're actually having him on next week.
Yeah.
Oh, no
So,
shit.
We'll get him
episode-
back.
round
That'd be a good
two.
one, man.
Yeah.
I always, he's an
Oh.
entertaining guy.
Oh, yeah, he's got stories for days, and he's just
What's your nickname from him?
I don't have one, man.
Oh, he hasn't got. Oh.
He calls me Brian, and then I actually drill a lot with the other Brian, Purple Belt Brian,
okay.
and he calls us Brian Squared when
Brian
we
Squared.
when we drill together. Yeah. So I don't have an official nickname. I'm sporting this black eye, and I thought maybe he'd come up with something from there. But nothing still, man.
Oh.
Kyle, if you hear this, I need a nickname.
Maybe that's why he's so good at just remembering names.
Yeah.
because He just remembers.
Well, that's
people.
dude. The way he remembers
Bro,
names.
I was
is-
gonna say that, like, Kyle is. Look, he'll beat you up. Okay, if you're listening to this, he'll beat your dad up. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Kyle does a lot, man. He's pretty accomplished in his line of work. The thing I am the most impressed with is that he knows the name of every student in the gym, dude. And there are hundreds of students.
Yeah, I mean,
He knows everyone's name.
I mean, there's got to be over 300 members at this point.
Well, shit,
and-
he knew my name, but before I met him. Like I walked up and he goes, "Oh, you're Pat. You're Zach's friend." I'm like what? How the fuck do you know?
yeah.
I'm like, Zach who?
Yeah,
Never heard of her.
Never heard of her. Well, the whole ball busting thing, I feel like that's a part of your the culture and the
dude.
trades. You guys are just always busting each other's balls, and
It transcends to most areas of my life. And sometimes it is not well received. If you can imagine. Yeah. Like, like I was kind of like talking shit to Pat, like before we started recording, like I was kind of like roasting him a little bit. Yeah, man, it's just like, even in the gym, like, if I talk some shit to you, it's because I like you, dude.
Oh, of course.
It's a love language for me for sure. Like,
if
even
I
in
don't
the
like
gym,
you, I'm not going to talk to you.
100%, dude. Like in the gym, I kind of like talk some shit in the gym, always to people that are way better than me. Always to people that will act like Jeremy Fernandez.
Yes.
Jeremy Fernandez is one of my favorite training partners, man. Jeremy's like a blessing in the gym. The dude will teach you so much. He's so good at jiu-jitsu. I talk shit to Jeremy all the time.
Yeah.
Because he's always talking about how he's old, et cetera.
He's
I'm like,
got
yeah, dude.
bad knees.
Yeah, you're old and you're beat up, dude. Like, let's go. You know what I mean? Then Jeremy will beat my ass for the whole 6-minute round or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like same thing. Like, dude, I'm talking shit to you because I respect you big time, dude. I have mad respect for you. Mad respect for your game. Like he teaches some classes. You know what I mean? And Jeremy is a guy who will submit the shit out of you, and then if you ask him, he'll be like, "This is how I did it, man. Like, do it this way next time. Do this next time." So, yeah, the roast culture. There's a lot of shenanigans that goes on, man. Even in my house, there's some shenanigans. My wife is pretty over it, if we're being honest. She's a pretty good sport, man. She puts up with a lot of shit. But yeah, job site shenanigans are wild.
Yeah. What's a crazy like prank or anything that anything come to mind?
I mean, it's important to realize that like these people that I work with, even before I started, River City Ironwork, I'm side by side with these guys 8, 10, 12, sometimes 14 hours a day. It's difficult to not get close to these people. I always say all the time, you can only talk about hunting and fishing for so long before you
talk about everything.
Yeah. Like I know these people, like even the guys that work for us, like I know these people on a very personal level. Like I care about these guys deeply, man. Like these people, I spend more time with them than I do my wife and family. You know what I mean? So that, to say that there's some friendly roasting that goes on and other ridiculous shenanigans is a gross understatement. I would say all the time that they should film like a Discovery Channel show about us. But that shit would get canceled so fast, dude. Like it's going to get canceled instantly.